I asked my husband on our honeymoon why he was a completely different person. His answer horrified me. My husband and I got married quite quickly since we were only together for 6 months before he proposed. I was taken on a whirlwind romance, and the first few months, he truly swept me off my feet. He made romantic dinners, he said all the right things, then by the time he proposed, I couldn't say no. But after our wedding, something in him shifted. It was like he had wanted me really badly. And then when I said yes, the chase was over and he seemed to get disappointed, and even a bit bored with me. I saw this phase of our relationship as more of getting to know the real person now, but he saw it as a letdown. When we flew into Cancun and got in an Uber, he barely spoke to me. When we got to the hotel, he started to nitpick and criticize every little thing I did. He was constantly edgy, anxious, and agitated. I asked him what was wrong, and all he said was, "Stop asking me that, I'm fine." He clearly wasn't. That made me want to withdraw from him and not ask any more questions. We went for a walk on the beach, and I tried to hold his hand, thinking maybe some physical touch might put him at ease, but he just pulled his hand away from me. I tried to make a few jokes that I know he would have laughed at a month ago, but this time he barely nodded and had a cold, stoic gaze in his eyes. He had completely changed from being a fun-loving, charming man into a quiet, awkward, angry, unlikable jerk. This terrified me. Who did I marry? And how would I get along with this person for the next week of our lives? Things got stranger the first night when I got into bed. I was nervous that he would want to be romantic because I was so turned off at this point, hoping he wouldn't be thinking about hooking up. I got into bed, quickly said goodnight, and turned my back to him. I heard him toss and turn and let out heavy sighs. Then he started caressing my back, trying to give me a signal of what he wanted. I pretended to be asleep for a while, but he wasn't buying that. He said, "I know you're awake." I quickly said, "Yeah, so?" Then I was really shocked when he said, "I want to do it, but I can't stand looking at your face right now." I responded, "Wow, you really know how to charm a girl." I was more angry at myself for not seeing any signs that this guy might just be an undiagnosed sociopath. How could I have not seen something earlier? He was so charming and went out of his way to make me happy. And now that I'm seeing that was all an act, I'm so crushed and sad. I could barely breathe. As I was dressing, he stood up, grabbed my arm, spun me around to face him, and said, "We're married now. You don't have a choice." I snapped back, "You don't get to tell me what to do. Ever." I had to tell him how I really felt. I can't believe that I'm only seeing who you really are now, after we tied the knot. And to be honest, I'm seriously disappointed. You've been acting like a completely different person. What happened to the guy that brought me flowers and chocolates and was kind? He glared at me, and I'll never forget this. He said, "You lied about what you had." I was confused and asked, "What do you mean what I had?" He paced, gesturing violently with his hands. "You said you owned properties, a yacht, a few cars, and none of it's true." I corrected him. "I said that my family owned those things. I never said that I personally did, and that's not a lie. Besides, is that seriously why you're mad? Because you thought I was wealthier than I am, and now you're let down because you found out the truth?" He stayed eerily quiet. He couldn't hide the fact that he was playing me for my money. I said, "If that's what you really wanted all along, I'm so damn happy we signed a prenup, and I'll be filing for a divorce on Monday." I grabbed my purse and walked out of the hotel room. He chased me out into the hallway, dragged me back in, slammed me down onto the floor, got on top of me and said, "If you divorce me, I will end you." I could tell right then and there he meant it. Thank God my brother taught me a little self-defense. I smacked this asshole so hard in the nose and the nuts that he keeled over in agonizing pain. I ran out to the security desk and waited with them until my Uber came and took me straight to the airport. I divorced him immediately, and once I got over being angry, I was actually grateful that I got out early, and I didn't waste a lot more of my life on this dickhead.